Hello, my friends. Well, here I am back today. I made another blog, and now I'm going to make a video about craziness or talking to God. Which is it? This in this time and age seems to be a very important theme, considering that we have the Speaker of the House claiming that he speaks to God, so or that God spoke to him. Now, let's start at the beginning. I take care of birds, I raise birds, I place them in a cage, I take them to the vet. I physically make myself available to them, try to understand or fulfill their needs. Now, I might train them, but I will never in my life give instructions to these birds to spread my instructions to others. Why? Because I know that they are incapable of understanding the depth of my knowledge or my language, right? So it would be a pretty idiotic, to say the least, idea of me to have a bunch of animals, no matter how smart they are, right? And expect them to follow my specific rules, because I know that they are incapable of understanding my rules, my variation, the real granular way that I have of thinking, humans have of thinking, uh, according to different situations. I at best would train them one on one and then expect them to follow their training in respect to some limited situations. Will I then hold them responsible because the other birds did not follow their instructions? Well, of course not. That would be dumb at the very least. It is likewise ignorant, right, to even believe that any man had a one to one conversation with the sentient entity we call God. Even more to expect that this being passed on some knowledge that would hold through centuries without changes. Only a tiny minded leader would expect that. Not a God. Not a God that can foresee the future, nor that he is all knowing and all powerful, unless he's a cruel entity, right? Bent on watching us kill each other over who's right and who's wrong. Such a being would also understand man's inherent need to control and consequently dominate and eliminate anything that he cannot control. In essence, this God entity would be promoting murder and genocide just by not continuously interacting with man in an evident manner. Okay? Now, the reason why I say this, we know that as men we can train animals, but we must continuously feed them and interact with them to stop them from killing each other once we have them in an enclosure, in a place where we can control them, right? Now, there are also those we don't do anything with. Those are the ones that we leave in the wild. First of all, when was the last time you thought about any animal in the wild? When was the last time you thought, you know what, I think that we need to punish the lion because he's killing too many gazelles? No. When you don't care about others, you leave them on their own. This might be what God has done with us, pretty much. We don't expect anything from animals except that they stay in their place, don't come into our houses, right? Now, from the wild animals, we learn. We don't care about them. We leave them in the wild alone. And once in a while we send scientists to be able to learn about them. Why? Because we're not all knowing gods. So we let them kill each other. We don't miss a single wink in our sleep where their soul goes, what happens to them. We don't care. And the only ones that we do care about are the ones we keep at home and we daily care for and interact with them. Remember, we interact. Even if we are different species, we're a higher level of intelligence, we interact constantly with them because it's necessary in order to, you know, continue our relationship. Now, how can we claim that God is all knowing and all powerful with all the chaos that is going on in the world within our civilization? Yet somehow religious people claim God is in control. No, He's not. If He is, He's very cruel, watching us kill innocents every day. Not to mention thousands of walking, talking Palestinian children right now. Yet these people, USA fools, think that somehow or other fetuses are more important than what's going on over there. I don't know. But there is no punishment. There is no correction in sight from our dearly beloved God. I believe that by the attention He is paying to her creation, and I did that in purpose, we must be the children of some sexual assault, I think. I don't see any more care for men by God than for any animals in the world. I think it is all up to us. But so many religious people with their wipe their responsibility with the, well, God will take care of it. No, He won't. We are the unwanted stepchildren, and history has shown that God doesn't care if men annihilate other men unjustifiably. It is essentially up to us. Now, if there's a supreme being, he, she, it, or them, has not talked to anyone in this planet. Isn't it strange that in the Old Testament, God advises Israel to eliminate every man, woman, child, and cattle whom they consider to be an enemy? Would this be the words of a creator or who gives a hoot, or the words of a mother or a father to their children about their brothers and sisters? I don't think so. If there's a creator, then this is not a good creator, but a sadistic creator. Or maybe, check this out, maybe a man trying to use the authority of Almighty God to acquire power over others by fear of an ultimate power. Look, we are at the point where we have to be diligent in the use of our intellect, which is the only weapon we have to survive. If there is a God, it is not the one in any holy book, since every holy book and religions developed from it excludes all other books and religions. I would think a God with half of my intellect would have thought about the different interpretations and a way to get over it. And come on, it's only common sense. Now, look where we are, at the verge of nuclear war. We're already past many genocides, and God has not had the decency to show up with any miracles from the Old Testament to stop any mass murders nor genocides, not even the ones in the name of God. I'd rather believe that God doesn't exist than believe that He or she is so cruel as to allow things to happen between her children that a mentally deranged parent would try to stop, but not an abusive parent. See, the God portrayed by most people, most religious people, has the characteristics of an abusive parent. Threats, humiliation, passive aggression, blaming, rejection, or abandonment. Come on, If your answer is like, oh, well, everything will take care in the world after, then why are you trying to be a controlling factor for others in this world? Trying to make people believe that you have the authority of God and that are His voice. It is all about controlling and abusing others in accordance to your beliefs, which we have already stated as false because they come from books that are mutually exclusive. Like what God would do that? I think, and I'm going to pause here. I'm going to give it a pause because we need. I'm going to make a second part for here. But think about what I have done, have said so far. Give it a minute. Give it a thought. Okay.